Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for Now You See Me, or You Can't See Me. It's a wrestling thing. Anyway, I was actually really looking forward to this film because it had a really cool plot. It's a bunch of magicians robbing banks, doing a bunch of tricks and stuff, and the trailers themselves looked really awesome. Had an amazing cast, so I was really looking forward to seeing this film. So I saw it yesterday, and what did I think of it? Well, let's get straight into it with the story. Alright, so the story for Now You See Me follows 4 different magicians. You got Jesse Eisenberg, who plays a street magician, Dave Franco, who pretty much plays a con man magician, I'm not really sure, Isla Fisher, who plays a escape artist, and Woody Harrelson, who plays a mentalist. And all 4 of these magicians are actually given a tarot card, and each one of them pretty much says to meet up at this apartment. They all do, they go inside, and then this big Tron light show just starts happening. That's the only way I can explain it. And they realize that it's pretty much a blueprint to do something big. Now, I'm not going to spoil what that is, but then the movie skips 1 year later and they're already doing pretty much a big show at this big hotel owned by Michael Caine's character. And these magicians don't just saw people in half or pull rabbits out of hats. No, they rob a bank. The first thing they do, they rob a bank. They get a random person in the audience, bring them on stage, teleport them to their bank, and they rob a bank and give all the money to the people in the audience. And of course, the FBI is like, oh, that's not going to swing. So they get Mark Ruffalo's character, who is a detective or FBI agent, whatever, and he has to go, of course, and figure out what's really going on. They can't just arrest these guys because magic. They can't just say that. So he has to figure out how they're really doing this, what their next move is going to be. And that's pretty much the story, really. It's a crime thriller with magicians. That's what it is. And it's a fun story. It really is. But I do have a problem. But before that, let me say what I actually liked. I think the story itself is very well written. The dialogue is very funny, very witty. The characters are really likable. Even though like the magicians can be dicks at times, they are dicks that can really back it up. They can back up the dickery. They can back it up because they are really good magicians and they can outsmart people. Let me just say this. Mark Ruffalo gets outsmarted about 15 times in this film, and it's freaking great. It really is. Even though Mark Ruffalo is a really likable character here, and he's great, it's just so much fun watching him get outsmarted in this by a bunch of magicians. And it's really funny, the chemistry between all the magicians and even some of the side characters and Mark Ruffalo's character with Melanie Lawrence's character. Really likable, really good, just great chemistry. I really like all that stuff, but here is what I didn't like. There's a twist at the end that I just could not stand, and it gets super dumb. It does. Like, the first hour and 25, maybe even 30 minutes is super smart, very well paced. It always moves. I love that. But at the end, it does this twist. I'm just like, oh my god. First of all, it doesn't make much sense. And second of all, it's just like, hey, M. Night Shyamalan's movie came out today. We need to have a twist too, just in case. And it's a dumb twist. It is stupid. It really is. So that kind of brought it down. And the ending itself isn't that great. But besides that, I really liked it. And I also liked that they didn't shy away from some of the sci-fi elements to it, because there is some sci-fi elements here, but I'm not going to spoil that. So there you go. I really like the story, and I really like the acting here too. As a team of magicians, Jesse Eisenberg, Isla Fisher, Woody Harrelson, and Dave Franco completely work. Even though I will say Dave Franco is barely in the film, he has an awesome scene later with Mark Ruffalo's character where he actually fights him using magic, and then there's a whole chase sequence that I thought was freaking awesome. But his character is kind of wasted here until that part. But before that, I think Woody Harrelson and of course Jesse Eisenberg, they've been in movies together. They were in, actually they've only been in one movie, Zombieland, but they were great in that, and here they have a lot of chemistry. They're very funny. They always have like sly remarks against each other. I really love that. Isla Fisher is really likable here as well, and all of them together just have great chemistry. Mark Ruffalo is fantastic here. I love him in this film. I love Mark Ruffalo just all together, always have, but he is great here, and I'm glad that after the Avengers, he's getting some big roles that can really, you know, expand his acting skills, and he's great in this. I really like him. And Melanie Laurent, I think I'm saying her name right. I remember her from Inglourious Basterds. She's really good here as well. She plays the partner to Mark Ruffalo's character when he's investigating these magicians, and she is great. And like I said before, she has great chemistry with Mark Ruffalo. There's plenty of scenes where they're just talking and stuff, and you can kind of predict what's going to happen between those two characters. Kinda, a little bit. kinda. But it's really likable. It really is, and I love the chemistry from all the actors. You also have, of course, Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman, who are both fantastic in this as well. Michael Caine plays, you know, the douchebag owner of that hotel, and Morgan Freeman plays a guy that actually likes to debunk magicians. So it's cool that they put a character like that in here, and of course, Morgan Freeman playing him. Of course, why not? And they're both great here. So overall, the acting is fantastic. The story is great almost all the way through until that twist, which I was like, and then it gets a little bit dumb even with that twist. Even without that twist, it gets pretty dumb at the end. But besides that, it's a fun story with some great acting and some funny moments. While it is a crime thriller, there is plenty of action scenes and special effects being utilized here. The action scenes, like I said before, there's a Dave Franco fight scene with Mark Ruffalo's character and Michael Kelly's character, who I didn't talk about in this film. He's really good in it as well. And it's badass. Dave Franco just using all his magic and stuff, all of his trickery, and then there's a chase sequence right after that, which was really good. The use of special effects in this, I have to say, is really good, because it's not just straight up, oh, boom, 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 look at all those explosions and stuff. No, they use special effects in here just really cool, just design-wise, and just the way they use it with some of the magic looks really cool. Just looking at some of this stuff. There's a scene where you see, like, I guess it's supposed to be like a video on a wall, and it's like, it's hard for me to explain this, but it's like kind of like moving the wall in squares and stuff. I can't even explain it. If you see it, it's at the end. It's really cool. And then Woody Harrelson and all these other characters just start appearing on these walls, and it looks like, it makes the wall itself look like it's like going in like a cave. I don't even know how to explain it. It looks really cool, and there's so many great little scenes, like in the beginning with the Tron light show. Even though it doesn't make any sense, it looks really cool. Just special effects like that just make me go, wow. Alright, even though it doesn't make any sense, it looks cool. Thank you. At least making it look cool. So the action is really fun, even though there's not too much action. It doesn't need to have too much action. It's a crime thriller, and there's some really good special effects being used. The movie is very funny, very witty, even though it's very silly at parts. It's pretty much all the way through it's silly, but it's never meant to be taken seriously. At the end, it kind of got brought down, but besides that, I really, really like this film. If I had to say one other complaint, I didn't like that the magicians in the middle were kind of not used too much. You don't see too much of them, and that's sad because they're definitely the funniest characters in this movie. But they still have great chemistry, and when they are used perfectly. So there you go. There is my review. I really like this film. I'm going to give it a 35 out of 40. I really enjoyed Now You See Me. Oh boy, I have to go see After Earth now. It's probably not going to be as good, but at least this one was fun, so hopefully if this one sucks, you know, whatever. So there you go, there's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.